It's the question that everybody has on their mind. Not really, just me. What is the best Forza Horizon game? Is it Forza Horizon 1, which of course was the introduction to the series? Horizon 2, which was the big step forward? Horizon 3, which made a big jump and almost everything? And then Horizon 4 with 4K and a bunch of new updates. Which game is the best? We're going to go over that today. I have multiple points for each game that we're going to be looking at, and you can make a decision for yourself at the end of the video, as long as what my decision was. We'll go over each game and what they added to the Forza franchise, how it was received, and what the gameplay was like. So let's start off with the first one. Forza Horizon 1.
It's already a beautiful Colorado morning here with a forecast for high energy, scattered rhythms, and plenty of thundering engines.
Forza Horizon 1 was the big change for the Forza franchise. Obviously, it had never done anything with Rally before. It has never done anything with open world before. It has pretty much always been a game where you just race on a track. You have drag races that are meant to be played in a certain angle, but nothing you have ever been able to do has been open world. This game for Forza Horizon wanted to bring the open world gameplay with the realistic physics. Obviously, its lead rival Need for Speed has an arcade physics type of game, and they have been doing the legal street racing open world for the entirety of their franchise. For Forza, though, this was a big change because pretty much everybody played Forza, and they played it for motorsport, because that's all there was. So the change for Forza Horizon 1 would almost be like a bad change for the franchise, or at least that's what people would think, until it actually came out. And of course, 4 games later, Horizon is the best thing to happen to the Forza franchise. So looking at Forza Horizon 1 then, open world racing obviously came about, and with that, a lot of other things came about. Games like King and Infected were added, which you were able to play with your friends, which added another take, which made Forza almost like a party game now. If you're interested in cars, you like racing, and you want to kind of play tag with cars, you could now do that with the various party modes. With that, you still have realistic physics and an open world gameplay. Forza would do good with this map, being that it was in Colorado. It was the first map. It was a great location. The only issue is that it was a flat map, which isn't exactly Colorado for you. The map was kind of flat and you couldn't exactly tell elevation too well, but it wasn't bad for the first try because the game had a lot of decent roads and looked pretty good. And of course, with an open world, you're gonna have various types of different abilities that you can possibly do. Those being drifting, rallying, racing, drag racing. And this was the first time that Forza dove into rally, and it actually turned out pretty good. With that, people could now drive across dirt and specifically cut across the maps. They could do races that will have them on road and on dirt, aka rally races, and it was a pretty fun experience, which is obviously something you can never do in motorsport. Rally wasn't the only thing that Forza Horizon 1 introduced, because you were really able to do open world drifting. Before in Horizon or Motorsport, the only type of drifting you could do was just on the racetrack. Now you can do dirt drifting, you can build your car in a certain way. Although Forza Horizon 1 did not have tuning, you could build your car in a certain way to make it drift, and you decide what roads you're drifting on, how you're going to drift those roads, and when it stops. And that was really huge for a lot of players. Obviously, Horizon 1 introduced the Horizon Festival, which is what the games have based on before. It is the central hub where you're going to be able to buy your cars, meet up, paint your cars, everything else. And this would go on for the next 3 games after this. Forza Horizon 1 had pretty good reviews, being 9 out of 10 on Eurogamer, 9 out of 10 out of IGN, and 85 out of 100 on Metacritic. That's not bad for a first year game. Forza really took the big jump in going from Motorsport to Horizon, and with such a great reception for it, the only thing that would make sense was to make a second one. Now, Forza Horizon 2 is here.
Here we are on the road together, racing time, you and I, trying to climb the snakes and ladders, and block the shine, and blind your eyes, 'cause it's easy to feel weighed down, and it's easy to blame ourselves, when the sky is filled up with clouds, raining down, yeah, 'cause it's you and me against the world now, and we're all right, it's you and me against the world now, and we're all right, 'cause it's you and me against the world, but it's you and me against the world, but it's you and me, it's you and me, it's you and me against the world.
Forza Horizon 2 was the big brother to Forza Horizon 1. A lot of things became better about the game. A lot of things that were missing in Horizon 1, like tuning, now come into Horizon 2. And they can be a little more risky with this game. They know that people like the open world racing now, the ability to pick your car, do whatever you want to it, whether that's drifting, drag racing, rallying, anything. They knew that they could take a risk and potentially try to make a different map. That's exactly what they did. The map was different. The overall roadway connection was better. Driving in between various points. Of course, you have your Horizon Festival in the middle, but city driving was great, and it all became even better because the graphics took a pretty big jump from Horizon 1 to Horizon 2. And another big thing that happened was the full day and night system with dynamic weather. So let's just add in the ability now of what the game will look like at nighttime, the ability of what the game will look like at sunset and sunrise, and how that will affect your Forza photos, right? And dynamic weather changes a lot of things too. Alright, let's see how our cars race in the rain. Let's see how our cars race in overcast. And of course, tuning. Make your car yours. Change your car for your weather. Change the car for the day or night. Change the car for each specific type of race you want to do. This was an absolutely huge jump. And this game made so many of these. That is just the beginning. The next biggest thing that Horizon 2 did, drivatars. Drivatars are now in every single Forza Horizon game since Horizon 2. And drivatars are some of the best technology that I've ever seen in a Forza game. Say your friend John is a good racer, but he's not great, but he's pretty good. Well, now when you play offline, you can play against John's drivatar, which is almost like a ghost of John, but it races how he races and what his skill is. Racing against the computer has never felt so much realer. And that is something that is present now in every single Horizon game, and was made true and was invented, so to say, in Horizon 2. And it is honestly just an incredible feature. But that wasn't it. The jump between solo play and online play became seamless. Like I said, you could drive around the city with drivatars, but mixed in would be real players, real online players that you can meet up with, have your car meets, do your drifts with. Online play now became a huge factor in this game. So you can see what I mean when I say the jump from Forza Horizon 1 and Horizon 2, it wasn't just a second game, so to say. It's a brand new game, which is something that Horizon has done in pretty much every single game, which keeps people coming. That's not all Horizon 2 did though. They introduced car clubs, which were 1,000 members you could have in your club. Clubs had leaderboards. It was pretty cool for the multiplayer thing. They also increased their cars to more than 200, and they added bucket lists, which were events that were made by Playground Games for each specific car to kind of get you to learn more about it. We also saw DLC come into this game with Storm Island, which was perceived pretty decently. Overall, the review of this game was an 86 out of 100 for Metacritic, so just a 1-point advancement from Horizon 1. 9 out of 10 IGN and 9 out of 10 Eurogamer. Both games were highly rated, but Horizon 2 made such a huge jump. So then let's move to the third game, Forza Horizon 3.
What a wicked game to play, to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, to let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say. You never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do, to make me dream of you.
And Horizon 3 would bring the best graphics we have ever seen in a Forza game. What I mean by this is that the skyline was taken by actual photo of Australia. The weather cycle, the day and night cycle, all combined, driving through the forest greens to the desert to the city lights. The graphics were absolutely incredible in this game, and took an absolutely huge jump. Now, the map is the biggest difference here. This personally is my favorite map. Now, the roads are really good. There's kind of highway roads that connect, say, Surfer's Paradise to the bay. That's your ocean road, where you're driving on a cliff pretty much with the ocean to your left or right, depending which way you're going. Then you had the forest road that took you from the forest to the outback. The main outback road, which was a huge stretch you could just pull 250 on. And of course the Surfer's Paradise sort of highway system. The roads in this game are absolutely incredible, and I played this game for 3 hours before making this video just because I wanted to make this video, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the first time I recorded this I didn't do it right. I'm like, I gotta play Horizon 3 again. Horizon 3 is absolutely incredible. It's the game that started my YouTube. It's the game that really everybody loved to watch content for, which is absolutely huge because there's a lot to do in this game. Nevertheless, there were 4 festivals in this game, and there were so many different parts of the map. You had the Outback, where you could do your rally races, where you could do your sand races. There's the huge stretch of road. They had the city, where we had a drift parking lot. Absolutely incredible. The city was great. City camouflage was invented by Jackultramotiv at the time. Everything was great. The Great Ocean Road was great. I mean, the forest roads were great. Everything was great about the map and the road system in this game. And the festivals, they had multiple. They had 350 cars in this game. And they added blueprints. You can make your own race. You could make a 25-lap Goliath if you wanted to. Also, co-op came in. You can now play the game on multiplayer. If you wanted to start the game with your friend, or say a new expansion came out and you wanted to do the races together, there you go. Another big step in the online part of the game. Danger signs, convoys, drift zones, all big parts of this game. We had the airfield drag strip, which is yet again another great part of the map. Everybody liked to play party games on there. Everybody loved to do drag races on there. You had the construction site, which was a great spot for rally races as well as playground games. More great areas of the map. The beach was so fun to just drive a hypercar down the beach, which gets me to talk about the Goliath. This is the absolute best Goliath in the entire series. This Goliath is non-comparable to any other Goliath. You start off at the beach, you make quick turns, you go through the forest, you go through the outback at 200 something miles an hour. There's a bunch of sharp turns. There's the crazy corners. Then you go through the city. Then you go along the Great Ocean Road, and then you finish off on the beach going under rocks. Absolutely the best Goliath race in the entire series. And with that, the game also had 2 expansions. Blizzard Mountain. We saw how great elevation can be. Driving up the mountain, driving down the mountain, having frozen lakes, having blizzards. Incredible expansion. Then they went and hit it with Hot Wheels. Crazy driving tracks, crazy cars. Absolute incredible. Spoiler alert, my favorite game in the series. It was also the highest rated in the series. Rated 91 out of 100 on Metacritic, 9.5 out of 10 on IGN, and 9 out of 10 on GameSpot. The best Forza Horizon game. But they wouldn't stop there. They would strive for even more, which leads us to Forza Horizon 4. Now, Forza Horizon 4 had a lot of the great qualities that Horizon 3 had. Horizon 4 had pretty much the same size map, and it felt a little less diverse, but it had the new addition to the game, which would be seasons. You could now have the map change. You're racing in spring, okay, the temperature's not as hot, there's a lot of rain, now you gotta tune your car different. You're racing in the summer, it's gonna be hot, tune your car different. Same thing with the fall, blah, 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 blah. You're racing in the winter, guess what, that frozen lake, you can now drive on it. Snow, get your snow tires. It almost felt like real life, this game, because every week something was changed with the map. Obviously winter being the big one with snow, but still you could tell a difference between every single season. That was pretty much what Forza did for the map in this game. They pretty much doubled their cars with 450 cars at launch compared to the 200 in Horizon 2 and 350 in Horizon 3. This game obviously has a lot more cars with over 100 DLC cars. Horizon 4 also gave us the route creator to make your own tracks, and they also gave us a Super 7 more recently. With this, you can now kind of build your own track for the car that you want to use. It's almost like the blueprints, but better. This game also dove into the Battle Royale by making the Eliminator, and it's a decent expansion, but it is not exactly the best thing that Forza has done to their franchise. Two great things that Forza did, though, were the expansions in this game. Fortune Mountain gave drifters the best DLC they could ask for. Fortune Mountain is the exact type of road that people want to see in a Forza Horizon game. You can easily get over 1 million drift points, especially with the Formula Drift cars, on the drift zones on Fortune Mountain. Then they dove into Lego, which was an interesting thing. The map was different, the cars was different, the subplot was different. The map was pretty cool since it was all Lego. Honestly, they made big jumps in the expansion as well. All the expansions for the Forza games were really good. There's not a single bad expansion out of the 5 that came out. Forza Horizon 4 had great roads in the city. The connecting roads were kind of boring, but this game did have quite a few really good roads. But they lacked amazing roads, and the Goliath was kind of boring. This game could have been much better in its road work. But maybe the biggest thing that has came from this game is the festival playlist. The festival playlist was introduced to the game and should, for the entirety of the Forza series, be a part of it. The festival playlist is something that is not in Horizon 3, 2, or 1, because it was obviously made for the Horizon 4 game, but it's a weekly challenge which gets you 2 cars a week and an extra 2 a month for doing about 9 to 10 different challenges that are based off the seasons. Horizon 4 made big jumps, but not as big as the jump from Horizon 1 to Horizon 2, and not as big of the jump as Horizon 2 to Horizon 3. Because that, it only got an 88 on the Metacritic compared to the 91 of Forza Horizon 3, and a 9 out of 10 consistent on GameStop the entire time, but a 9.6 from IGN, which would be the highest by only 0.1 to Horizon 3. In total, Horizon 3 is the most well-renowned Forza game, Horizon game that is, has the best reviews and made the biggest jump in everything that matters. Horizon 4 would then be the second best game, Horizon 2 would then be the third best game, and Horizon 1 would then be the worst game, sorry. I think this is absolutely true. Horizon 3 is my favorite game. Horizon 4 is my second favorite game. I didn't play too much of Horizon 2, but I would say it's my third favorite game, and then Horizon 1 I didn't play at all. But by looking at videos and learning everything that I know about it now, it would make sense that it's the worst game, but none of this would have happened without Forza Horizon 1. And even Forza Horizon's worst game is rated an 85 on Metacritic. What is your favorite Forza game?